And I think you guys should step up to the plate and do something about it. Be brave. You can do it. You need a moratorium. These people need to get these smart meters out of Michigan, out of our country. They're trouble. They're ruining our country. Our people are going to suffer. And you guys don't need to be sitting up there and not answering what's going on. You need to stop this. We want a moratorium. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Elva Diavardi.
Good morning, Madam
morning.
President, City Council, City Attorney. I just want to thank each and every council member that questioned 13A in regards to an increase for this construction, this Mando construction. When I read Chapter 14 regarding contracts under the charter, it said the power to authorize the making of a contracts on behalf of the city is vested in the council and shall be exercised in accordance with the provision of law. And when you go down to F, no extra compensation shall be paid to any agent, employee, or contractor after the service has been rendered or the contract entered into. So those who have the audacity to question, I say thank you. Good job.
I'm sorry, are you finished?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
It was a praise report.
Okay. Robin Rekoff is our next speaker. I thought she was saying her name, but I wasn't sure. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm hoping that I can get my comments done in the 3 minutes since there will not be an extension. I want to touch on something I don't believe that I heard from Chris Pasternak. With the Miller Library, having a new carpeting put in versus having possibly a gym put into this library, we just approved a millage for the libraries, and we're talking about possibly closing one of the libraries. I don't think the residents are going to be too happy about hearing about that one. Okay. I want to thank those people of the Lions Club who helped to build a handicap ramp at my new home that I moved into in October, November. It helps to accommodate my handicapped mother to remain as independent as possible. Several people who I will personally, and I am not near this mic, so I don't know why it's doing it, that I would like to thank are Kathy Boat and Mark Wire. I also wish to thank the firemen of the city of Warren that responded to the business that exploded on Hoover. There was a little bit of a mention, but nobody on the council happened to, during the announcements, give kudos for this horrendous experience that occurred. My home is less than 6/10 of a mile away. Did I feel the vibrations? Yes. Did I have things that fell off of my walls? Yes. Did I scream when it exploded? Yes. We as residents of the South End need our station to stay open. We also had another fire last Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Happened to be a business on 9 Mile, 3 buildings in from Hoover. It was a roof that caught fire. They were having new roofing put on. Yes, they ended up with fire damage, but they ended up with more extensive damage of water. Which would you rather have, water or a building that looks like the one on Hoover? Another thing that before I do my last little part, which will be a kudos, is we had a break during this council meeting. But I have seen several people get up from the dais up there to go wherever, to go out into the audience to give an explanation of why the council cannot give responses to comments. That can be held off till the end of the meeting.
Please
My
conclude.
My last thing is I wish to thank the judges, and Judge Grunberg was in the back. I had talked to her. I appeared before 3 judges, Judge Grunberg, Judge Sabaugh, and Judge Jennifer Fonts, with regards to a slum landlord for 2.5 years.
Thank you.
I'm glad they saw through the things that I was having to fight through. And the one last thing that I'm going to say is the house that I moved out of took over a year to get its certification for rental. Should not have been collecting the rent money. And I hate to see what the next person that's in there is going to have to deal with, because the rental inspection only went until October of this year. It's not even a 2-year rental inspection.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Henry Krzysztofczyk.
Madam Chairman, members, council,
Good evening.
his honor. Henry Krzysztofczyk, longtime resident, City of Warren. Donegal Martin was absolutely right. Dodge truck. There's a lot of people in this community that work for Chrysler Corporation. They're out of work. General Motors is doing very well. Chrysler is just straggling. Even if it would take a penalty of $200 or $300 on that unit, be well worth it. You've got the assembly plant that you people give concessions to all the time, which is an investment. And also you have a dealer here on Van Dyke in Warren. Thanks to the good and hard work of Sawyer and Alva Giavardi, the resolution of resolving the billing authority has concluded. It's well on its way. Yet you've got Bacalmino and you've got Stevens over there are arguing the issue as if they were experts. If it wasn't for Sawyer and Giavardi, they would still not know what's happening. Now let me remind this council, Public Act 31, read it. I don't care what the bylaws say. I don't care what the Articles of Incorporation say. The state law mandates, and the state law states specifically it's an autonomous item, commission. So take those 2 documents, tear them up, follow the state law. This is why you guys are going to be in trouble all the time. You don't follow the law. Now here's the other thing. You say, well, they can't do that because the bylaws say it. Again, the state law gives them autonomy. They don't have to come to you. It's just a courtesy. They also can sue and be sued. Play games with them, they can get a lawyer and sue this council. Remember that. But better yet, read it. I also take exception to the chair and Scott Stevens. Audience participations. Mention the fact of Robert's Rules of Order. This is the Open Meeting Act. Show me where the Robert's Rules of Order have any standings in here. The Robert's Rules of Order is mentioned in the Charter and your Articles of your procedure. That's to govern you people. Your meeting, I don't know if you know this, but your meeting is concluded at the last agenda item. Then it becomes audience participation, which is not part of this meeting. And it's also my opinion that you cannot put a time limit on this forum right here during the audit. You can put a time limit on a public hearing, it says, but the public hearing is the ones that you have at the beginning of your meeting. Because it states for the reason why. This is why the audience is upset. You've got a new audience to deal with. These people are reading and they're interpreting. And I'm going to tell you, the 5 of you are going to have a hard time getting reelected, because every single meeting here, we're going to hammer you and show the electors that you people are not capable of running this city because you don't even read the state laws. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Grace Stidham.
I guess I must need to practice in talking after that first time. I went to a meeting last night all about the city being sued. I heard tonight a comment about the person who started a item that was put on for the citizens to vote for. He's running for election. Oh, wait. Some of the people, including the person who came up here and land-based them about it, are also on the list. I was stuck at home, recovering from injuries, having hip surgery, whatever. Not a big deal, not important. And I did not get a chance to come up here. The first thing that really upset me was first I heard of the council making comments of suing and trying to stop this after the fact. I was very disappointed in several of you, and including you, Scott Stevens, even though you didn't join the group, you still said you didn't like it. This was something for the residents to vote on. There was talk of people signed a petition and they didn't read it. At 5 years old, I knew never to sign anything unless I read it. I've been on my own since 15. I've never signed anything without reading everything. If you didn't read it, shame on you. The thing that gets me, I can see why some people would get upset, including on this council, because it will eliminate some of you. But it still belongs to the vote of the people. I was not ignorant in my vote. Did I like the whole program? No. But nobody was presenting us anything different. Maybe if you had presented the citizens, somebody else had come out with a committee and presented something better, that'd be great. I listened to an ancient council person talk about $1.60. We're not going to be saving $1.60 if we get rid of some council people. I'm not positive because I haven't looked at the figures, but I know it's somewhere around $28,000 a year plus benefits for a part-time job. And that it has been an issue that even Mary Camp, you have brought up when you were a citizen. You too, Scott Stevens. So the people have spoken. You guys need to back off. The people who are doing this lawsuit need to back off because we are going to print a ballot. And just like when they took me off for running for mayor, which is not my fault, and I'm almost done, it costs the citizens money to reprint these ballots. So everybody needs to back off. The citizens have spoken. If you don't like it, go with another petition.
Thank you very much. Next agenda item.
Our next agenda item is 17A, Assistant Council Secretary Scott Stevens, discussion in Ray. Direct the city attorney to draft a resolution affirming English as the official language of the city of Warren to be used for all government business, public records, and elections. Exceptions, oral communication by city employees in the performance